Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for John the Lindsey. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for another episode of Batman the Animated Series called Trial. Again, thank you so much for that. Now, Trial... Like I said before, a lot of the Batman episodes I've enjoyed because of the animation, because of how they dealt with a lot of their characters and the villain role gallery. The voice acting is pretty solid for the most part. You get people like Mark Hamill or Mark Senior or what's this guy from Night Court? God, I forgot. Richard Mole as Two-Face, and so forth. This is an interesting episode where you have this female DA who's been on Batman's butt for a while, saying, you know what, you're the reason why all these villains are here. We need to get rid of you. We need to do something about this. Well, one thing leads to another. She gets kidnapped, as is Batman, and he's put on trial. She's forced to be a defense attorney. Two-Face is the prosecutor, and the Joker's the judge. And you have the Mad Hatter, Roddy McDowall reprises that role. You got Poison Ivy, you got Harley Quinn, you got Killer Croc. I guess Riddler wasn't caught, so you don't really see Riddler in this. And a few others. You do have the ventriloquist in there, so it was nice to see a lot of these villains in the same episode. I thought that was nicely done. Scarecrow, that's another villain in this. Now, granted, when they capture him, I don't know why they don't immediately take his mask off. Like, they have him knocked out, and they take him to Arkham Asylum. Number one, how no one in Arkham Asylum, with how many times that place, bad guys escape it, bad guys deal with it, bad guys do this and that. Arkham Asylum, to me, is like the worst place for these people to go to. I mean, that needs a reworking and then some. And, like, that should be on call 24/7 for people to watch and monitor it. But Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, they managed to capture Batman. Why they don't ever just take this mask off? They tried to eventually near the end, but he's knocked out. Boom, it's Bruce Wayne. Boom, done. But they never do it because I guess they don't, like, they write themselves into this corner and then you're supposed to just ignore that. So it is what it is. But like I say, it was nice to have all these villains in the same area. The Joker being the judge. Mark Hamill does a wonderful job as the Joker. And then how the DA has to cross-examine, and the villains want to prove, oh yeah, Batman created us, but then it proves that no, they were crazy before Batman came into the picture. Like Mad Hatter, well, what if the girl just wanted to be left alone? And he's like, I'd have killed her first. And Harley Quinn said, without this, Joker, if he didn't make Joker, Joker would not have made me. And then the DA's like, well, what about when Joker told on you and got you arrested again? And she finds out and she gets mad at Joker and tries to hurt Joker. DA talks to Poison Ivy and starts picking off the rose petals on one of that Joker had. And she goes crazy, tries to attack the DA, pretty much each time proving that, no, these people were... Batman didn't make the villains. The villains were crazy enough. And she even said, in fact, I think you guys created the Batman. Which is true. Because they existed, and because people like them existed, the Batman was created. And then, funny enough, they even vote not guilty. So I guess they wanted to be honest, but they don't try to kill him anyway. And then they tried to unmask him. And I'm like, well, why are you trying to unmask him now? Why didn't you try to do it earlier? Also, I swear we've seen Batman get out of straitjackets before. So I don't know why he couldn't get out of this straitjacket. Maybe because of Trying to see what happens. I don't know. I do like the finale. Obviously, it's not a full down, knockout, breakdown, bid Arkham Asylum, the video game fight jamboree, but the DA helps in getting a Batarang and making things go dark. And Batman does his stealth business. And that was cool. I like the lighting in that scene. Because Two-Face is a lighter, and the whole scene is trying to be illuminated based on this lighter, and Batman's in the shadows. It gives a nice atmosphere. Like I said, it's a very well animated show. Even the very beginning, when Poison Ivy's arrested, and she's brought into jail, and the certain angles of the asylum they use, and or looking through the bars of the door, the prison asylum door. There's a lot of nice direction and animation throughout a lot of these episodes in this show. And Batman is pretty cool in this. Because the bad guy's like, stop him before he leaves. And Batman goes, who says I'm leaving? And starts to take them out as best as he can. Find a bit of Killer Croc, dodging Joker's gunfire, which causes some stuff to explode and shock Killer Croc into unconsciousness. He tied up Harley Quinn. There's a bit he's rescuing the DA and Scarecrow's on one side, the ventriloquist on the other side, and he dodges Scarecrow's weapon and it cuts the ventriloquist doll that head off, and the guy runs after it. I would have liked a bit more of Batman, like punching, kicking the convicts there, maybe beating up Two-Face and Scarecrow a little bit more. Pretty much like throws him, the Scarecrow, but I guess just a little bit more fight, a little bit more physical. But I'm a sucker for fight scenes, so that's me being greedy. And, I don't want to give every single thing away. I'm trying to think, like, I don't think he beats up Mad Hatter either, or other stuff. So, yeah, I wish a little bit more of taking each of these villains out one by one in various ways. I think that would have been really cool to see that full force action-packed finale. But it's pretty decent. I do like the line at the end where she goes, I'm still going to fight for a city that doesn't need Batman. And Batman's like, me too. Because that's what Batman wants at the end of the day. He wants a city that doesn't need Batman. That's sort of his main goal. Sadly, that goal never comes to be because then you have Batman Beyond, and there's always going to be a Batman. So there'll always be a need for Batman, but that's sort of the sad fate is that Batman, never gets a retirement. Pretty much, I mean, if you take Batman Beyond after this, he gets old. I guess you could say between that is a bit of a retirement, but he's alone. Alfred is gone. People have gone off. But I mean, it is what it is. But I would say overall, like I say, it was cool to see all these villains in one episode. Would have been nice to have like Mad Hatter and Joker, like Roddy McDowell, Mark Hamill, have a little bit back and forth. I think that would have been fun to see. I think that's a missed opportunity because you have these two good actors and crazy personalities, them conversing with each other and their insanity. I think that could have had some potential. Like I said, a little bit more action in the finale where Batman takes each of these guys out, or maybe you'll fight some of the random convicts in order to protect the DA. I think that would have been cool. But other than that, pretty decent. Nice showcase of the DA. Makes me be okay with her by the end because she does have a brain or two and realizes the truth of the matter. Some nice little insights to the villains, like Harley Quinn getting pissed at Joker. That was nice to see. I'm not saying this never happened before, but it's rare especially the cartoon, so that was nice to see a little bit of difference in that. But she'll always go back to him. That's her deal. The voice acting, pretty good. Like I said, Richard Mall, nice, interesting choice for Two-Face. I've liked his portrayal on the show. You know, always nice to hear Roddy McDowell, Peter Vincent, the fearless vampire killer, as the Mad Hatter. Always a pleasure to hear that. But with that said, pretty decent episode. I did overall like it. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.